All right, I'm live. Hey, YouTube, how we doing out there? Another episode of Federal Prison Talk. This is Friday Night Live. So I used to do Friday nights all the time, but I lived in a place with 8 roommates. I don't anymore. I have my own place now. I moved to Albuquerque. I got a job helping inmates, believe it or not, working for a nonprofit called Wings for Life. So I moved here about 10 days ago. Left San Francisco. You can have that place. It's full of crime and homeless, and the cost of living is ridiculous. I was paying $950 to share a bedroom, so now I have my own place for $700 a month. Anyways, I'm hoping some people come on here tonight and we can answer some questions. If not, it'll be a short video, but I got a few articles I'm going to raise up here and see what happens. So let me start with some prison consultants that got busted. You guys know what a prison consultant is? Well, I kind of do that, but I don't charge money. These guys, my videos show you how to write a letter to the judge and talk to the judge and get in RDAP, other programs that are available, and trying to walk you through the whole pretrial process, tell you what it's like in prison, answer your questions. And hopefully you take accountability for your actions and your crimes you did, and you come out a better person somewhere along your journey of pretrial, getting sentenced, going to prison, halfway house, getting out, and turning your life around. That's what it's all about, because I don't want anybody to go back to prison. I don't want anybody to go to prison. I know a lot of people watch the show that are going to prison, but I don't want anybody to go to prison. But as long as you're going there, I try to bring you videos and information and help you get through all that process. So, let me show you this article. These prison consultants that got busted, I think they got 7 years. Let me share this with you here. All righty. We're going to read this article. Prison consultant sentenced to 6 years for defrauding BOP substance abuse treatment program. That's the RDAP. So says Leonard C. Boyle, the acting United States attorney for the District of Connecticut, announced that Tony Tuan Pham, also known as Ann Wynn, 52, of Grand Rapids, Michigan, was sentenced today by U.S. District Judge Jeffrey A. Mayer in New Haven to 72 months of imprisonment. That's 6 years, followed by 3 years of supervised relief for coaching federal inmates and prospective inmates who would not otherwise require substance abuse treatment how to lie to gain admission into a Federal Bureau of Prisons BOP program that, if completed successfully, would result in a shortened prison term. According to court documents and statements made in court, the Residential Drug Abuse Program, RDAP, is a 500-hour substance abuse treatment program that is administered by the BOP. In order to gain admission to the RDAP, a federal inmate must meet certain criteria, including having a diagnosable and verifiable drug or alcohol abuse disorder. By successfully completing the RDAP, an inmate can qualify for up to 12 months in early release from custody. Pham was a managing partner of Michigan-based RDAP Law Consultants, LLC. Pham and others he supervised at RDAP Law Consultants contacted federal criminal defendants and inmates through unsolicited emails and telephone calls with offers to assist for a fee those individuals in applying to and qualifying for the RDAP. Although Pham knew that many of the company's clients did not abuse alcohol or drugs and were ineligible for the RDAP, he coached them how to feign or exaggerate a drug or alcohol disorder and to make false statements to the BOP so they could gain admission to the RDAP. Between September 2012 and January 2019, RDAP Law Consultants earned at least $2,628,137 in client fees through this scheme. Pham had recently been released from federal prison and was living in a residential reentry center halfway house when the scheme began. Pham was arrested on January 23rd, 2019. On December 4th, 2019, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy and 1 count of wire fraud. Pham, who is released on a $100,000 bond, is required to report to prison on January 14th, 2022. This investigation was conducted by a Federal Bureau of Investigation and Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigation Division. The case was prosecuted by Assistant U.S. Attorney Jonathan N. Francis and Trial Attorney A.V. Perry of the Department of Justice's Fraud Section. Acting U.S. Attorney Boyle thanked the U.S. Attorney's offices for the Southern District of West Virginia and the Western District of Michigan for their assistance in this matter. So yeah, they got busted. His whole crew got busted. They're going to do 6 years. I don't know what the other guys got. So be careful if you are watching these videos on YouTube and you see some certain prison consultants trying to hit you up for $5 and $10 grand and swearing they can get you into RDAP. Okay. RDAP Dan's a good guy. And RDAP Dan will tell you if you don't have drug and alcohol problem, we're not even going to mess with RDAP. RDAP Dan helped me out for free while I was on pretrial. So did Walt Pavlo. Walt Pavlo put $100 on my books for me every month while I did my 52-month sentence in prison. So he's a good guy. Here, Zephiel is in the room and TJ's in the room. Let's see here. Zephiel, alcohol, the legal, helpful drink. Yeah. And TJ says most of these consultants do that. Yeah, don't they? So you guys want to know the secret how to get into RDAP? Doesn't matter if the judge recommends it. Okay. Doesn't matter if some prison consultant says he can get you in. If your lawyer says, oh yeah, you'll get RDAP. It's got to be in your paperwork, man. It's got to be in your paperwork, your PSR, your pre-sentence report. Sometimes it's called a pre-sentence investigation or a PSI. It's got to be in there. Oh, excuse me. So there's a little section in your 17-page PSR. Excuse me. Anyways, little section in there for alcohol and drug abuse. That's got to be filled in that you have an alcohol and drug problem, but you can't just make it up and put it in there. Somewhere in your history, maybe you were arrested for drugs. Maybe you've been seeing a therapist and you've talked about your drug addiction while you're on pretrial. Maybe you've been to AA meetings or NA meetings or a drug program in the past. Something, to kind of document your abuse. There's lots of ways to get that put on to that PSR, but don't go pay nobody any money to get into RDAP. Okay. Just watch my videos on how to get an RDAP and donate $5 to my channel and you'll get an RDAP if you have a drug and alcohol problem. If you don't, man, that bed's not for you. Okay. There's guys who need that program. Please don't take advantage of the BOP system. For what it's worth, you know what I mean? You can get in trouble too. You get caught going to RDAP and they find out that you lied to get in there and all that stuff. They can actually add time to your sentence. Zephiel says, I'd get a drug and alcohol problem if it helped in prison. So you can't actually get the drug and alcohol problem after you get arrested. It's supposed to you're supposed to show that you've had it before. Now, you could have been in recovery and maybe you drank 10 years ago and now you got arrested and you're drinking again. That's okay. Something like that. But most people in this country drink alcohol, smoke pot. I mean, 90% of people that are going to prison have a drug and alcohol problem. There's just a few white collar guys that didn't drink. You know what I mean? Most people have that problem. So, but it's got to be in your paperwork. The RDAP coordinator at whatever prison you go to is the one who decides whether you get in that program. That RDAP coordinator is also a licensed psychologist. Psychologist. They've usually got a couple degrees. They run that program for a reason, and it's up to them, not the judge. Judge can recommend all day long you go to RDAP. Judge will recommend that you walk the track and drink lots of water and get in shape, and the judge is going to recommend that you go to, the chapel and go to church. And the judge is going to recommend that you don't commit crimes anymore. And the judge is going to recommend that you don't violate your parole, your probation. The judge is going to recommend you pay back your restitution. But that doesn't mean diddly, okay? He doesn't get you in the RDAP. The judge does not run the prisons, okay? The judge actually has the power to pull you out of prison and the power to send you to prison. But once you're in there, the programs that go on, the judge, all he can do is recommend, and anybody can do that. So Icy, bless you. Hey, thank you, So Icy. Zephiel says, could you get into RDAP being caught with it in prison? Could you get into RDAP being caught with it in prison? I don't know what you mean being caught with it. Being caught with, get into RDAP and then being caught with false stuff that you made the whole story up. Yeah, if that's what you mean. The PSR is the Bible for the BOP. That's right. That's your life history right there, man. That's everywhere you went to school, every girlfriend you had in high school and grammar school, the names of your pets, who you live with, your roommates, your cousin, every job you've had, every dollar you've ever earned, your whole life story's there. Zephiel, I'm bringing you to the top for the super sticker. Thank you, Zephiel. Super sticker. That's right. I got super stickers. I think I can make up stickers, special ones, and put them on there. I got to get on that. Thank you so much, man, for that super sticker. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you. So, if you want to know more about how to get an RDAP, ask away. Ask away. What else did So I see, if you're designated to a camp, can they assign you to a medium or something different when you arrive? No, if you're designated to a camp, you're going to go there. A lot of times they might have you check in at the medium. Sometimes you got a quarantine over there right now, but then they'll send you right to the camp. But go get a cell phone. They'll send you to a medium. You know what I mean? Take some drugs. You know what I mean? Go do something. You want to leave the camp, though. There's lots of ways to get sent somewhere else. So I see. I've heard it happens due to the camp being full. No, they're going to send you to another camp. For one, everything's half full right now. But I've never heard of a camp being so full that they don't have room for you when you get there. I've never heard of that. If so, they would put you in the shoe at the medium and transport you to another camp. And of course, that's going to take months. But no, they don't send you to a medium if the camp's full. If anything, you're going to go to a low before you go to a medium anyways. But I've never heard of it being so full, because before they designate that, they make sure that you've got a reservation at the hotel and the hotel has your room for you. They don't just, they don't send you to, I've never heard of that. We're too full. Can you come back next year? That doesn't happen. What we got here? If you're caught with booze or drugs in prison, would that allow you to get into RDAP? No. That'll actually get you kicked out of RDAP. We had guys in RDAP that were getting high and drinking and got caught while they were in RDAP. They lost everything. They, some guys had 6 months already invested in RDAP, so they lost all their good time, kicked out, banned out of RDAP. Right? They could repeat. Some of them were allowed to repeat RDAP, but they're going to lose all that time they put in. All right. Some were allowed to repeat it, but they lose it all the time. But that will get you kicked out of RDAP in a heartbeat. And I've seen that happen to a few guys. That KJ stuff was going around when I was in prison, because apparently it doesn't show up in a drug test. And guys were definitely getting kicked out of RDAP for that. Hey, Wayne's old friend is back. Is outpatient drug treatment expensive? That is one of the conditions while our relative is on probation. No, there's all kinds of free programs. Lots of free programs, man. I mean, just offhand, Salvation Army always has free ones, but there's all kinds of, they'll put you on general assistance or something to pay for it. I've been in a few drug programs, never had to pay for one. There are those, those ones down in Hollywood, charge you $40,000, the Taj Mahal programs, the spin drives and all that stuff. Sure, if you got the money, but there's so many free programs, especially outpatient. Just contact what is it? Mental health, your local county mental health office, and they'll refer you. Every city has a mental health office now because mental health is run rapid. But yeah, lots of free programs. Probably not. It would just get you sent to the whole. Yep. And we got LOL. All righty. We will have to pay for it. You won't have to pay for it. They're just county programs. I mean, they're not the best. You're going to have lots of chores to do. Some of them are work programs. Even if it's outpatient, though, mental health office, county mental health office, get on Medicaid or something to pay for it. Definitely don't want to leave camp. No, definitely don't. Like LOL, like Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you. Yeah. That's true. That's true, man. All right, I got another story I want to share with you guys about, because nobody's talking about this, man. But these NBA players, I got a little news clip. 18 of them got busted, man, doing wire fraud. And they're probably all going to be snitching on each other, telling on each other, getting it, and they all got indicted already. Let me show you this little news clip here.
Never had. And the whole thing was allegedly orchestrated by a former Nets player. Chief investigative reporter Jonathan Deans broke this story. He has more from Lower Manhattan now.
Former player Sebastian Telfair left the federal courthouse after pleading not guilty to stealing $350,000 from the NBA's healthcare fund. Prosecutors say Telfair, who also recently faced gun charges, is one of 18 former NBA players charged with submitting bogus medical and dental bills to collect cash.
The defendant's playbook involved fraud and deception.
The FBI says former Nets player Terrence Williams organized the scheme where players tried to steal more than $4 million in all. He was arrested in Washington State earlier.
He provided the other former players with false invoices for medical and dental procedures that they never received.
So brazen was the alleged scheme that former player Greg Smith was playing a game in Asia at the time he allegedly submitted bogus records saying he had undergone a root canal. And three former players, Glenn Davis, Tony Roden, and Tony Allen, allegedly said they had dental surgery done on the very same teeth on the very same day.
Roden and Allen each also reported they had root canals on the same 13 teeth on September 6, 2018, and crowns on the same 12 teeth on October 2nd.
The feds say 18 former players charged in all. The wife of Anthony Allen also indicted today. Prosecutors say ringleader Williams got more than $200,000 in cash kickbacks from the players he helped defraud the NBA's health plan. They say Williams even impersonated the benefits manager, calling former player Christopher Douglas Roberts to try to scare him into paying a kickback for helping get bogus medical forms. Investigators would not say why some players like Davis, who earned about $32 million during his NBA years, took part in the scheme.
This scheme, which lasted for about 3 years, from 2017 through 2020, inflicts a significant loss to the healthcare industry.
Some former players are appearing in court in other states at this hour. All are pleading not guilty. Outside federal court in Lower Manhattan, Jonathan Deans, News 4.
So, yeah, what do you guys think of that one, man? What do you guys think of that one? Oh, look what happened here while I was playing that. Wayne. Oh, man, God bless you, Wayne. God bless you. Thank you, Sean. And thank you, Wayne's old friend. You're my new friend now. Yeah, thank you very much for that super chat, super sticker. Thank you so much. So, you know, this story with the NBA, got 18 of them. They're doing wire fraud and all this. And nobody's talking about it. The NBA's buried. That story was 2 months old. And I can't find anything new about it. I can't find anything new about it, man. So I don't know why the NBA's got money. They're covering it up. Oh my God, Zephiel. Wow. Thank you, Zephiel. Thank you. 19 Fout cooking brats on the grill. Wow. Drinking Sam Adams. Oh, old Fezwig. Holiday sucked. Keep your head up. 2022 is around the corner. Keep sharp and positive. I got to drink Rock Stars, man. Red Bulls. I wish it was a beer, man. But, out here in Albuquerque, they test for alcohol. I mean, they don't just breathalyze. When I piss in that cup, they go back 5 days on alcohol. I was warned by my buddies out here that are on probation. They go, yeah, don't even try to sneak it out here. So yeah, a couple of them got caught. A couple of guys they know got caught and they're violated. And I have a special condition: no alcohol, no drugs, obviously. But if you take that RDAP and when you get out of prison, so you're going to have that special condition of no alcohol. So remember that. Is it worth the year off? I mean, of course it is, but for some people, if you want to drink, if you like to drink, it ain't worth it, man. They'd rather, there's people, check it out, man. So RDAP, you can get a year off your sentence, right? But if you only got a 2-year sentence, you're only going to get 6 months off. And I've asked guys 2 or 3 years, you get 6 or 9 months off. I go, why aren't you taking RDAP, man? They go, oh, man, because I'm only going to get 6 months off. I go, so plus you get 6 months halfway house. That's it. You go home a year early. Now, man, I'm going to save it for next time. I go, what? What do you mean save it for next time? I'm going to save it for next time. When I come back like on a 5-year beef, then it's worth getting a year off. They know they're coming back. Is that pathetic or what, man? Is that, can you believe that, man? That's the mentality of some people, man. They're going to save their RDAP for when they get back, for when they come back. These are the same people that don't want to go to halfway houses. I mean, halfway houses, they're hellholes. But, you get to go in the free world and work. You can save some money. I had nowhere to go. I really needed that halfway house. It worked for me. So it worked for me. Let's see. Thank you guys for all these super chats, super stickers. God bless you guys. All righty. So we have any more questions? All right. Well, then I was going to we had a guy on here last night. He was going to Milan. What was his name? Something Pablito. I don't know. I know you guys were on here last night too. And he had to check in today. So I thought I looked up where he's going. So let me show you his prison where this guy, he had to self-surrender. I think it was, pretty sure it was today in the morning. He said he was going to self-surrender. So let's take a look at where he went. Where I got that at. Here's where he went. Milan. It looks like a pretty prison. It's got a pond, a green grass. It's a low security federal correctional institution with a detention center. And it is in Michigan. And it's got 1,471 inmates. County of Washtenaw. Yeah, that's where he went. It's also got a detention center. So that's when you can't get out on pretrial, though. You do all your time in that detention center till you get sentenced. And if you get sentenced to the low, you just go next door. But you know what I mean? So this is the BOP website, guys. If you don't know about this site, let me take you to the home page. So this is where you can find all your locations. Here's a list of like all the facilities they have, guys. Every federal prison is on here. If you want to know, like, see a map of it, here's all the federal prisons that they have in the country. And this BOP website's got a lot of information on it, guys. If you wanted to look up, let's say you're about to get sentenced, right? And you want to find out, or you've already gotten sentenced, you want to find out your BOP registration number. You go to find an inmate, and then you punch in your name. Like, I'll punch in my name. Okay. And then I'm just going to hit search. And there I pop up. And it says I was released on 12/23/2019. And I'm 57 years old, and there's my registration number. And that's that number you need to put money on your books and for people to send you mail. And you keep that number for life, I'm told. So it's an 8-digit number. Mine is 18649-111. The 111 is the region where you got sentenced at. With me, it was the San Francisco Bay Area. But this is a very important website for people facing prison. All kinds of stuff on here, and I mean, just explore it. It's a pretty huge website if you really explore it. Let's see, got some more questions here. Hey, Wayne's old friend, what proof does the BOP need to show that all restitution and fines have been taken care of so they can stop garnishing our relatives' commissary? I mean, you need the receipts, I guess. So I pay my fees on my restitution fee on a website called pay.gov, pay.gov. And I would imagine that website there can get you the proof. Matter of fact, I could look it up right. I could try to look it up right now. Let's see. If I can do this here, and then I can give you an idea. Let's see. So I go to pay.gov. And I've already got, I thought I already had my password. We didn't reckon. For some reason, it's not letting me in. I don't know why. Anyways, this website, pay.gov. It's funny why it's not letting me in, because I gotta go there tomorrow. I mean, I gotta go there at the end of the month to pay my bill. Anyways, that's the website that should have the proof for you. Pay.gov. Check out that website, because that's where all the restitutions are paid. So they should have your proof there. So it's Milan, Michigan. Yep. You saw that last night. Yeah. Yeah, I bet it's cold in Michigan. I bet it's real cold in Michigan. For sure. Yep. All right. How's everybody doing tonight, by the way? Merry Christmas to everyone. And anyways, now what do I want to talk about? Running out of things. Maybe I'll just make it a short video. I'm drawing a blank, guys. I need some questions. Help me out here, guys. I just thought I'd go live, because I finally got my own place and I want to catch up on my videos. I haven't been doing a lot of them lately when I lived in the Bay Area. But now I like the Friday Night Live thing. And as long as I got to stay clean and sober and live the good life and all that, Friday nights mean nothing to me anymore. So, why not sit home and do a Friday Night Live YouTube show? You know what I mean? That'll keep me out of trouble. Will never happen again. Just hanging out. Got curfew. All right, man. Yeah. So maybe I could tell you guys a prison story. I'll tell you a good story here. That's a good prison story. All right. Yeah, I don't want to tell him that one. Let's see. Wayne's old friend. Thank you for trying to help everyone get through this. You're welcome, and thank you. God bless you, Wayne. Thank you. Wow, another super chat. Wow, another super chat story. All right, I'm going to tell you guys. I want to tell you a real prison story. This is something you ain't going to believe this happened, because I kept this shit. He retired, so I could say that this has to do with a correctional officer, but I can't get him in any trouble because the guy retired. So you guys know I was at Florence camp, federal prison camp, and we had a medium, a penitentiary, and the ADX Supermax, all in the same kind of property. I think, but the ADX Supermax, and it was it'd take you 20 minutes to walk there, but it was still on the government land that the camp was on. So a lot of us have jobs working at the other prisons. A lot of people got to clean the lobbies and the bathrooms where in the visiting areas and each prison's wardens' offices and staff rooms, because their inmates there, they can't go out. They don't have access to that stuff. The ADX Supermax, you guys know El Chapo and the Unabomber and all those, the Shoe Bomber, the Boston Bomber, the United Nations Bomber, there's a whole bunch of bombers. The Oklahoma City Bomber, one's still alive. Is it Terry Nichols that's alive and the other one's dead? And anyways, one of them's still there. Anyways, they got to get fed. So I had the job working at the food service over there. They actually had a culinary school inside of the ADX Supermax where we fed all the staff and correctional officers for any facility. And I did that for a year. And then I was working in the food service at the ADX Supermax. So I think we had to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. So about 9 o'clock, we had to go we left the camp, and I just walk into the camp parking lot where all the staff park their cars and everything. And there's a little bus stop there. And there'd be about 30 of us. And we wait for a van to pick us up. And the van's driven. It's an inmate that picks you up in a van. He can only fit 10 people at a time. So it took 3 or 4 trips, and so it took a good half an hour to get all 30 people. So we'd go to the back side of the ADX Supermax. And then we'd all hang out there and wait. It has two big fences and has a guard tower on one side, and then it has a guard shack in the middle. So finally, the food service correctional officers would come out. They'd open one gate. They'd go through this little courtyard, where the guard shack is, and they open up another gate. And then they come out and they call our names, right? And they'd say cowgill, and I'd go 186491111, and I'd go over there and I'd hold my hands up, and they'd frisk me, and they'd go stand on the yellow line. I'd stand on the yellow line. After all 30 people are frisked and everything, they bring us inside this little courtyard, and the one gate closes. Now we go through a metal detector, and we check in with. There's a guard there, and he's looking at everything we got, and if we're bringing something in, because we're allowed to bring books and things in there, and he might check through those. And then they open up a second set of gates, and we go through there, and then that gate closes, and then they bring us inside of the Supermax. We go through a warehouse, and then we're into a big giant commercial kitchen, and there's a dish pit, there's a pots and pans room, there's the culinary class, there's a dining room for the staff, there's a dining room for the employees, and although they let us eat at the staff dining room all the time because they didn't use the employee one anymore, and a bunch of staff offices, a whole bunch of walk-in refrigerators, walk-in freezers, and just a big giant complex. And so one day, our storm drain, we had a little courtyard that we used to be able to go out to, and we had tables out there inside of the Supermax, through the warehouse, through the kitchen, but in the middle of the Supermax, there was a little courtyard, kind of like maybe like it has walls going all around it. I guess it could have been used for a yard at one time for the inmates, but that was our little break area. And we had a storm drain. When it rained and stormed, the drain would fill up, right? And one day the thing was backed up and the water was high. So this one correctional officer, this guy smoked like a fish. This guy always had a cigarette in his mouth, and he would smoke inside of the building. Nobody cared. And this guy's retired now, but everybody liked him, and he was real friendly. And he grabbed me and he said, "Can you go out? I want you to come outside with me. We got to clean out the storm drain from the outside." So we went through the 2 gates again. I get, where you get frisked and everything to go inside. He brings me all around the ADX Supermax too. We're walking through weeds and up some little terrain. That's a little gulch kind of thing where the water comes out of the storm drain. And he's got a key to unlock. The storm drain has these bars on it, right? And he's got a key to unlock all that stuff. And he says, "Me and you got to go in there. We're going to crawl in there. We're going to pull all this weeds and shit that's built up against the bars." So we got wet and everything. And he's got a cigarette in his mouth the whole fucking time. And it took about an hour and a half. And I'm in there and I'm pulling all these wet weeds and shit. And I've got mud and everything all over me. We get the job done and all the water gushes through. And he goes, all right, man, you did a good job. Take a break. And I swear to God, this is what he does. He lights up a cigarette and he goes, here, man, you earned this. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm not going to, he goes, I know you're not going to tell anybody. They're not going to believe you anyways. And he gave me a light and he lit up my cigarette. And I sat there and smoked a cigarette with this correctional officer. And I never told anybody. I kept my mouth fucking shut. And I didn't like hold it against him and use it and try to get leverage and, manipulate him later. I got something on you. I didn't pull none of that shit, man. I just enjoyed the cigarette. I enjoyed the company sitting out there outside of this most secure prison in the whole entire world. And we're outside the gates. We just cleaned the storm drain, that you see like in Shawshank Redemption where the guy came out at the end. Yeah, we're just sitting there. And I had a cigarette with this correctional officer. And he was talking about how he's going to retire. And he's got a big party at this local bar he's going to go to. And I just enjoyed my day. And I kept my mouth shut. And I never used it against him. I had no reason to. That's not my nature. Well, maybe it used to be when I was high on crystal meth, but no. And that's a true story, guys. True story. So let me see where I'm at. So anyways, all right. So I got some comments and questions. Let me get to where I'm at. Is it true Tom witnessed a murder in a camp? He did. I know you can't go into, he went into detail with me and he talked about it once. Tom's off probation now. So next, he'll be on the show here because he lives up here in Albuquerque area too. And he volunteers where he works. So yes. Oh man. God bless you, TJ. Super sticker, man. I love you. Thank you, man. Thank you. So yeah, that's one of those prison stories. I don't know. It happens. Shit happens, man. You know what I mean? And that's not the only correctional officer that gave me cigarettes. I got another story. Maybe I'll tell you maybe tonight. But and I also kept my mouth shut on that guy. I'll tell you here in a minute. Because I'm in my own house. Fuck it. I'm gonna light up a cigarette. Because I can. Smoking inside. That's all I got left, guys. I can't do drugs. I can't drink. So I'm having a cigarette and I got a rock star. That's my and I drink a ton of coffee and I like my sugar and that's how I gotta live, but I'm not going to prison. Let's see here. TJ, witnessing a murder could really reduce your sentence, especially if you need someone to testify. Tom probably could have, but he's not that kind of guy. What we see, what you see in prison stays in prison, kind of like in Vegas. What you see here stays here. Even a guy who snitched on his best friend and snitched on his wife or his boss and all these guys that make all these deals, even the white collar guys that wheel and deal and testify against people to get time off their sentence. Even they, once they get to a camp, keep their fucking mouth shut. But there's always going to be that guy that knows 20 people got a cell phone. He's going to think he's going to get some time off. That's usually the guy who never snitched. The guy who snitches on the people with the cell phone is the guy who never snitched or never got offered the deal. And he's pissed he never got offered a deal to snitch. That's usually that guy. But your people who cooperate, they keep their mouth shut when they get to prison. I'm just saying you're going to see a lot of that in the camp. So, in a penitentiary, and they find out you don't tell before, you don't tell after, and you don't tell during. Penitentiary is a whole nother lifestyle. Like I told you, my ex-girlfriend testified against me or wore a wire, and she was still doing the wire fraud, right? And I said, she did what on me? And they go, yeah, we got a wire and all this stuff on you. And I go, well, that little bitch is doing it too. So I tried to snitch back on her, right? And they said, well, it's too late. We already got everything on you. You're not getting a deal. I said, that little bitch didn't do me a favor, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right. What's this next one say? Oh, I bet. Yeah. All right. I love these comments. TJ, you see my last $5 super chat about LEO. So you too. No, yeah, thank you guys for the super chats, man. Thank you. Yeah, got it here. Bringing them up. Drunk and had charges stacked on me. Shot me with max ketamine and don't remember a thing. Sober for 2.5 years. Could have been worse. Wow. Yeah, this just popped up. Zephiel, thanks. Drunk and had charges stacked on me. Shot me with max ketamine. Wow. Yeah, could have been worse, but that's pretty bad. Yeah, could have been worse, man. Could have been worse. Wow. Thank you again for the super chats, guys. Thank you. It really helps, man, because I am struggling. Took every penny I had to save to move here, which wasn't much. $700 a month. I had about $1,900, and it's $700 a month for the apartment. I had to pay first and last, and gas money and stuff. So, but I'm gonna, I'm only making $15 an hour, but you know what? It's okay. I can live on that here. I can definitely have a life here, and I get to help all these inmates and stuff. So let's see. Here's something. Wayne's old friend. Sean, why don't you apply to get off probation early? I read you could start applying by here. You can, but I got a restitution. You got to pay your restitution off. The probation officer that came here to my house, he came by Monday. He said, how long you been on probation? I said, 2 years. He goes, you should be off. Why aren't you off? I said, I got a restitution. He goes, oh, man, because he goes, yeah, you've done so good. He goes, man, in Albuquerque, he goes, you would have been off. I would have took you off my load. You wouldn't even have to go to court. I would just took you off. He says, but the restitution. Yeah, so yeah, that's why you got to pay off your restitution. I've heard people say, oh, that's not true. I haven't met anybody that got off early that still owed a restitution. I've heard that's not true, but I haven't met anybody. So it was cool to give me a cigarette. He did give me a cigarette. Yeah. I've asked my probation officer if I could get off early. He told me, no, I won't recommend it because you owe a restitution. I will go to court and say not to give it to you. Basically is what he told me to do. What super chat? Drunk and had charged. Yeah. I just found that. Yeah. So it popped up somehow. It popped up. Oh, I can put stars on them. Something like that with a star. What was this? Oh, there's a little button that's letting me put a star on. Oh, all right. All right, I'm going to tell you the other story about how I got a cigarette. I got more than one cigarette. All right. So you guys know I play guitar and stuff, right? So I used to grab a guitar, usually in the evening after chow. Between like 6 and 9, there was I usually took a class from 6 to 7, and then I'd go grab my guitar. And I there was these little benches kind of in front of the laundry room and the barber shop and the warden's. There's this hallway. It's outdoor, like picture a strip mall outdoor, but there's these benches, and they kind of face the road, and I could see the cars going by, and I just felt like I was sitting at a high school or something. I'm outside, and I'd sit there and I'd play my guitar and I'd sing and all this stuff. And this one guard, this CO, they called him the Beard. He had a big long beard, and he was usually a cool guy because if he caught you smoking in the bathroom, he would make you do push-ups, or he would say just clean the bathroom, or he'd look the other way. He was really cool. The guy was like a hippie kind of guy, and he used to tell us that, the only reason I'm not in here is I didn't get caught. Like he's trying to tell us you're one of us. Well, I don't know if you're one of us, but anyways, I'd be sitting there playing guitar, and he'd say, like, do you know any CCR? If you guys don't know what that is, that's Creedence Clearwater Revival. And I'd say, yeah, I know a couple songs, and I'd play one, and then he was kind of making his rounds, just walking around, and he'd go, oh, yeah, that's the song I wanted to hear, and he'd pull a cigarette out, he'd let it drop right in front of me, and he'd keep walking. And he told me, see, he goes, I used to work back. I've been working in this prison for 20-something years when everybody could smoke. So we always, when guys are out here playing music, we always left them a tip. We always dropped them off a cigarette. And I go, man, thank you. And he goes, and I don't have to worry about you. I go, you don't have to worry about me. And I never told a soul. I've told a couple of people since I've been out of prison, but the whole time in there, I never told nobody. So maybe once or twice a month, he'd come by and he'd give me a cigarette. You know what I mean? And he caught me one time smoking in the bathroom, and I was in there with a couple of guys, and it was like after like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, we're in there smoking, and somebody says microwave, and that means there's a CO came in, and he was coming in to do some, I don't know, he had whatever reason he was there, but he walks by the bathroom and he goes, hey, you guys, and we looking at him, he goes, I gotcha, ha, ha, ha. And then he just kept walking. Real cool. Not every guard is like that. He just, I don't know, he didn't want to do the paperwork. He was just, thinks he's one of us, wants to be one of us, didn't care. We're nonviolent campers. It wasn't worth it to him to go, you know what I mean? So a lot of times you get caught smoking, they'll make you pull weeds for 2 weeks, give you extra duty. Now they can take good time away and they can violate, they can, use it against you, but my camp was kind of lenient on it. Cell phones, they don't tolerate at all. Don't use one. Don't look at one. Don't touch one. Okay. Alcohol and drugs, alcohol, sometimes they let that go. Drugs, they don't like. All righty. Any more questions? Let's see here. What do we got here? All righty. Well, maybe that's my story time for tonight. I'll give it a couple minutes, see if anybody has anything last to say. If not, I'm going to wish you guys a good Friday night. And like the channel, hit the all notifications bell when you subscribe. You click it and a little bell comes up and it notifies you every time I have a new video out there. And got a guy named Ken Jackson coming on. I think we're going to do it tomorrow live. I work with him at Wings for Life, but he's got a website called the KJ Effect. And he hasn't been to prison, but I think his brothers, I think he's got 3 brothers in prison, and he kind of helps them. And he works, like I said, I work for Wings for Life, and every staff member there has somebody in prison in their family, stuff like that. I'm the first one that's from prison that they've hired, so I'm very honored. They wanted somebody to speak because I'm going to be working with guys coming right out of prison, putting them to work, and they wanted somebody who speaks their language. Although a lot of these guys are coming out of the New Mexico State Penitentiary. I don't know if I speak their language, but I speak it better than they do. That's for sure. But I can be tough if I have to. I can be. I can put it on. I put on the act. Do you watch? Yeah, I watch Tear Talk. Anthony Ganji. He watched me on his channel. I'm kind of afraid to go on his channel, man. I don't know. Yeah, he's asked me a couple times. I don't know if I should go on there. I don't know, man. He's, that's correctional officers. I still have a fear for those fuckers, man. I'm afraid of authority figures, man. So I don't know if I want to go on his channel. I don't know, man. I've thought about it. Yeah, but I do watch that. Hashtag. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on the channel. Leave me comments downstairs. You guys ever need to call me, my number's on all the videos. And, I try to get back to every comment, email, all that stuff, whatever I can do to help you guys. Because by helping you, it helps me be, gives me purpose in life, believe it or not. You know what I mean? There we go. Good night, and thank you for the show. All right. God bless you, everybody. Merry Christmas.